Howdy, y'all. My name is Bryce. I'm coming at you with some more Stardew Valley. What is on TV today? Tomorrow it is going to be partially cloudy with a light breeze. Okay. Says expect lots of pollen. Interesting. Fortune teller, welcome back to Welbeck's Oracle. Do you seek hidden knowledge of the future? Well, you come to the right place. Spirits are very displeased today. That's not good. Living off the land. Refreshing grain and farmer's best friend. I know all about that. Shoot. Okay, so we had some great questions come up. We had some great responses to questions. Big fan of that. And a couple of nice, useful tips. So one of those is someone told me that Maru likes cauliflower. So we're going to hold on to these cauliflowers. Those are going to be gifts from Maru. We'll sell these potatoes. I definitely need to get some seeds. So we'll definitely want to do that. And I think the goal is basically going to be today, what I would like to do, if we can, is to get enough copper bars so that we can upgrade something, probably our pick, just to get it out of the way. Because the sooner we can get that, the deeper we can go into the mine. You know, it's going to be useful for us. Someone said I should be making more cherry bombs. Can I make cherry bombs? Let's see. Copper and coal. See, I don't want to waste copper and coal, but I get what you're saying. Maybe as we go a little bit forward when those things are a little more plentiful. But I find it difficult to get enough coal to do things. So it's 6:50 a.m. We got a little bit of time before we should really be heading out. So I'm just going to sit here and babysit this guy for a bit. Oh, and I should probably grab one of these crabs. We could take that to the, we could take that to the Junimo bundles because we know we need that for the crab pot bundle. Okay, I guess I'll just fish for a moment. Because the store doesn't open until 9, so there's no point in us going into town until, I don't know, 8:30. Because, you know, we won't be able to do anything anyways. Now, someone in the chat was saying that in the comments, was saying that there's a Gold Star fishing spot just south of our house. So I think it's actually down here at the end of this dock. So I should probably be fishing there. All right, got a hit. And it's just algae. That's fine. That's energy. What else? What else? Before we get into psych talk, I'm wondering, maybe we'll try here. And then there's another dock that's even further down. So maybe it's the further down dock. So yeah, lots of great questions, lots of great suggestions about things to be sure to do. I do need to check the birthday dates so that I can be sure of whose birthdays are coming up, just in case Abigail's. I think Maru's is in winter, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely not in spring. So hopefully something there. And how many seeds do we want to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 or 15. And I think we'll probably just do maybe a mixture of parsnips and potatoes, since those are things that we're really... Oh, didn't get one of these cooking up. At this point, honestly, let's see how many... We'll just wait until we have 5, so that we can also do our upgrade at the same time. Let's go fish again really quickly. So, you guys seem to really enjoy the discussion of... dreams last time, so glad you guys enjoyed that. And we got a whole bunch of different questions, not on a unified topic, but definitely got a bunch of questions just about a bunch of random psychology topics, so we'll discuss those here in a little bit as well. I should probably go check with Willie sometime soon to see if he is selling any upgraded rods, because that would be pretty awesome if we could get a new fishing rod sometime soon. We might have to level up a little bit more in fishing first, so we'll see. Okay, oh, I just noticed I gotta unplug this. Yep. My controller was still plugged in, and so it was vibrating in my shelf over here every time a fish was on the line. That was funny. I don't play with a controller. I play with mouse and keyboard. I think it's more precise, and so I appreciate that more. All right, put you in there. Let's just go ahead. I guess we'll just sell the... I know that these aren't worth anything if you don't recycle them, but it's fine. Just get rid of them. Don't need them. I don't need it. So let's just get this out of here. And then as we walk along towards the shop and towards Clint's, we'll start talking about some psych-related things. The other thing is I would like to save up... basically what we're going to do is we're going to spend the $2,000 in order to upgrade something. And then I just want to make sure that I have enough money going into the next season that we're going to be able to start comfortably. We're going to buy a ton of whatever the berries are of that season, because that's going to be the best thing that we can grow. And then we'll see where we go from there. But for now, the main goal is just to upgrade stuff so that we have ourselves in the best possible position going forward. Okay. Let's see. couple of questions on perception-related topics, so we'll probably discuss those mostly today. Let's check our calendar. All right. It's Pam's birthday today. Okay, no worries here. Like, I know that I should try and give people gifts on their birthdays, but it's also not like a end of the road kind of deal. Oh, the flower dance is that soon? I don't think I'll be able to impress Maru enough before the dance happens. Oh, hey, Abigail. Do-do-do-do. I know you like those. Hey, how'd you know I was hungry? This looks delicious. Let's look at how our relationships are doing right now. Yeah, Maru's high. Abigail's high. That's great. Some people have said, why don't you pursue Robin since you already have like a higher number there? She is not single. She is married to Demetrius. So you can't, basically. All right, let us sell nothing to you. We will buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then let's also just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we still got our $2,000, so let's go run back over to... Man, my headphones are being all crackly right now, and I don't know why. Everything should be fine. Okay, so psych-related stuffs. One person asked, is what we experience, like everything that we experience, is it memory? Because, is there a lag between what we perceive and our experience of it? And it's sort of a multi-layered question. Let's upgrade tools real fast. We're going to do, copper pickaxe, I think will be the smartest thing for us to get. Thanks, I'll get started on this as soon as I can. It should be ready in a couple days. So we won't be able to go into the mines for a couple days, but then we're going to have a higher level pick, and that's going to help us to be able to get deeper faster, which is going to be great. Let's go check the beach really quickly for some forageables, and then we'll go back and plant things, and then we'll, I don't know, maybe we'll fish for the rest of the day, or we'll chop down some trees, because we could definitely use some more sap and some wood and stuff. Hey, Sebastian, what do you think he likes? I don't think I have anything that he would like, so I'm not going to give him anything. I'll say hi, though. Hey, man. If you're lucky, you might see a frog in this weather. Yeah, I've seen the frogs around. They're pretty cool. Okay. So the question is what we experience all memory. Sort of yes and sort of no. I think what you're trying to say is, yes, we do experience the world on a time lag. It's a very minuscule time lag, obviously one that's imperceptible to humans. That's why we think we exist in the present, right? Which we do. I mean, it's a tricky way of wording it. But... this guy, he's going to tell us we're not ready yet. I got this old amulet to sell, but something tells me you're not ready for it, lad. All right. Little money makers here. So here's how it works. So yes, there is a lag between when things happen and when you experience them, because it does take time for your neurons to fire. It does take time for that message, that information to transmit across multiple neurons to the centers of your brain that are responsible for processing that information. And then finally, for that to feed forward into your frontal lobe, which is where you experience your conscious experience. So that part of the brain that's right behind your forehead, that's where you kind of live. That's where you experience things. Hey, fiberglass rod. It's going to cost us $1,800. So we definitely want to get that, because then we can actually start using bait. Yeah, that's going to be great. So $1,800 is what we need for that. So maybe instead of doing an upgrade for our next chunk, we'll do fiberglass rod. Okay, so yes, we experience things on a lag, on a very short lag. The amount of time that is lost is very minuscule. And it's also relative, which this is something I find very interesting, is that smaller creatures, because there's a shorter distance between their neurons, or their neurons are just shorter because they're smaller, right? So the distance between an ant's leg and an ant's nervous system is much shorter than the distance between, say, an elephant's leg and their brain, right? So because of that, it takes longer for larger creatures to respond to the environment than smaller creatures. So that's just kind of an interesting little thing. Now, is this memory? Well, no, it's not memory, because memory is a very different kind of thing. Memory is something that we form after the fact. It's something that we kind of, how do I say this? Memory it's just a very different type of thing. So it's not memory per se, because that's stored data. That's your brain taking its experiences and then organizing it throughout your brain so that it can call on that information later, which is different than the way we experience things. Oh, salmon berries. It's both yes and no. Yes, we experience the world on a time lag. We do not experience the world at the exact moment that things happen. It's all relative to the creature's body size, but it is not necessarily memory in the way that we define memory. So hopefully that answers that question. I think that should answer your question. All right, now another one having to do with perception was a question about sixth senses. So this is, asking about ESP, I believe. So extrasensory phenomenon or perception. Basically saying that can people, this is like psychicness, being able to read other people's thoughts or experience their feelings and whatnot, or, predict the future, that kind of thing. So for that in particular, no, there is no evidence to suggest that there is any such thing as extrasensory phenomenon or psychic prediction. Every time, I'm going to say that again, every time anyone has ever pursued this question scientifically, so you can do very simple tests in order to see if someone can predict the future. It's actually very interesting how easy it is to try and prove these things correctly, because you can come up with a whole number of different scenarios. You could all probably think of a experiment right now that you would come up with to be like, okay, how would I try and see if I could predict the future, right? You'd be like, well, I could have someone write down a phrase on a piece of paper without my knowledge, and then I could try and predict what it says. Now, the thing is when people do these things on talk shows and on TV, what they're doing is they're doing basically magic tricks. There are people in the audience that they plant. There are ways of distracting people so that they don't notice when you are actually getting this information. They'll use communication devices in order to sneak messages to one another. That's a very common one that was used throughout the 70s and 80s before James Randi, a very famous skeptic and scientist who explored this idea and found out that, this guy who kept claiming to be able to heal people, turns out he had his wife in the back room basically reading things about these people to him over a communication, like a wireless, like a walkie-talkie kind of thing. And all James Randi had to do was use a walkie-talkie himself, tune it to the right frequency, and he was able to listen in on their whole conversation and realize, this guy isn't predicting anything. He's just tricking people, basically. So no, there's no evidence for that. Now, when you say sixth senses, and if you mean, do we have other senses? Yes. The whole five senses model is an oversimplification of the way that our senses and perceptions work. What time is it right now? I think maybe we'll end the day and then just move on to the next day here. Might as well. We've used up all of our energy. And we're waiting for Robin over here to do some things. So yeah, let's get another one of these cooking up, and then we'll just head to the next day, and we'll keep our conversation going. So, do we have other senses? Yes, we have more than five senses. The five senses model is an oversimplification, like I was just saying. Can I go to bed yet? Is it too early? There we go. How much money did we make? Not bad, 500. Cool. Not enough to buy the fishing rod, but a good amount. So, you have your five basic senses that people talk about, right? Let's check the channels. Let's see. Weather report, partially cloudy with light breeze tomorrow. Fortune teller. Yes, I can hear the spirits whispering something to me. The spirits are very displeased today. They will do their best to make your life difficult. I need to make sure to go and try and find Maru today, by the way. Oh, another cauliflower? Oh, no, none of these are ready? Nothing's ready? Okay. Apparently she also likes strawberries, so we might hold on to all of our strawberries as well. I have a request for you. I need fresh cauliflower for a recipe I want to make. Oh, well, we do have one of those that I can bring you. So that's fine. Oh, and look, our silo's done. So we're going to go scything a bunch of stuff around the farm today. All right, cool. So we got lots of stuff to get done. Where's our watering can as well? I will do what we're going to do probably on the last day of the season, since we're not going to be watering any more plants. We're not going to be really dealing with much of this stuff, is I will do a lot of the organization type stuff. So for those of you who are like, Bryce, please organize your things. It's driving me crazy. We'll do it then. All right, so that guy's ready. So let's do our watering first, and then we'll do that stuff. Okay, so you got your 5 senses, right? The ones that you're all used to. You got your sense of smell, your sense of sight, your sense of hearing, your sense of touch, and your sense of taste. However, that is an oversimplification of many of those senses. So, for example, the sense of touch we talk about as being your ability, to feel things, right? But that's actually broken up into multiple different senses. There are different sensory organs and different sensory tools associated with touch, but we do kind of lump that all together into something called somatosensation, the feeling of feeling. Okay, so that's what that refers to. But within that, what you have is you have different sensory receptors for different types of texture. You basically have 4 different types of pressure sensors throughout your body. They're of different sizes, and they respond to different types of things. Sharpness, or roughness, or kind of a bumpiness, or smoothness. You have a lot of different sensors, sensory organs, sensory receptors, really. There's just specialized neurons underneath the skin in order to detect those things. You also have what we call proprioception and kinetosensation. Hold on. The word is very confusing. Kinetosensory and proprioception. Now, what those are is it's your sense of your position within space, your physical position within space, and the sense of your body, where your body is, where the different parts of your body are. So what you have is you have sensory neurons attached to your muscles and your bones and your joints. And these send signals to your brain to tell you the relative positions throughout your body. So my elbow is bent at this angle. My arm or my hand is bent at that angle. My finger is bent at this angle. You also have your vestibular system, which is located within your inner ear. It's a series of bones, it's one bone called the cochlea. It's a kind of a collection of bones, but it's this structure that, hey buddy, how you doing? Hi. I should have left a little bit of that grass, but that's fine. So what that does, it has these fluid-filled chambers within there that have little bits of metal, essentially, little bits of stuff that float around in that liquid. And when you rotate your head, that stuff kind of bounces around. And these fluid-filled chambers detect that bouncing around and give you a relative position for where your head is in space. Basically, gravity pulls on that metal and drags it to a certain part of the cochlea. And then your brain goes, oh, okay. So, or I guess, all right, let me take a step back. It doesn't pull it to a certain part of the cochlea because the cochlea is a lower structure of that bone area. It's in the vestibular channels, which are connected to the cochlea. Anyway, lots of really crazy fancy words for you have a little, basically, bucket full of liquid and metal inside your inner ear, and it has this metal so that gravity can act on it. And once gravity has acted on it, your brain then sends a signal that says, like, okay, if the metal is located at this part of the vestibular system, then that means that my head must be tilted to the left, or my head must be upside down, or whatever. So it's giving you information about your position within space. So while the proprioception is telling you about how your body exists in relation to itself, the vestibular system tells you about where your body is in relation to the rest of the world. See how that's a different thing? So we have, those are two senses that people don't talk about a lot, but that are very important for us to move through the world. And especially when you consider, I think we could take that. When you consider how, okay, cauliflower. All right. When you consider how that changes throughout your lifetime. So let's discuss that as well. Piece of hay, we have 88 of 240 built up, so we should also think about trying to get chickens by the end of this season. Let's go see if we can't find Jody. Is that coal? Ah, we're all out of coal. This is why I didn't want to make any cherry bombs, because coal is a commodity until you can get to a certain point where you can start making your own from burning logs. All right, so we'll put all that stuff away. We have a cauliflower for Maru when we find her. We have another topaz for Abigail if we find her. We have a cave carrot to put into the Junimo bundles, and we have another cauliflower that we're going to give to Jody if we find her. Okay, cool. Sounds good. I think we've done everything on the farm that we need to do. We got about 50% of our energy left, and yeah, we just need to bring her that. Cool. So how does that system, that vestibular system, change as we age? Remember, like I said, it is a fluid-filled cavern. It's got a fluid in there. It's not water, but it is a fluid. Hold on. I hope things are going well on Oinkalot Farm. I'd hate to see it all dried up. Me too, man. Me too. Do I have anything that I could give you? I don't feel confident that you're going to like any of this stuff. Oh, hey, let me say hi to you. Let me say hi to you. Let me say hi to you. Hello? It's Caroline. It's a fine-looking day. Cool. Where's Jody? Jody lives like down this way, right? Let's go see if we can't find Jody. Hopefully she's here. But if not, it's fine. We can give it to her another day. No, this is Emily. Ah, spring, the season of pastels. I actually prefer jewel tones myself. Oh, excuse me. I was mumbling about fashion again, wasn't I? So, as we get older, this fluid becomes more viscous, okay? So viscosity just means the thickness of it, all right? So it becomes more thick as you get older, which means that the metal within it has more trouble settling down, all right? So imagine if you shake your, imagine you have like a glass of water, all right? Or like maybe a bottle of water, okay? And in it you have water, right? You shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, and that water very quickly comes back down to its resting place, right? It doesn't like slosh back and forth. Can't find Jody. Maybe she's in here for the this thing. Guess not. Oh, there's Abigail. Hey, Abigail. I've already given her 2 gifts this week. All right. Let's say instead of water, you put honey into that water bottle, all right? And then you shake that around back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It starts to stick to the sides, it starts to slosh around, and it takes way longer for that to come back to a resting position, right? It's an extreme example, but it illustrates the point, which is as that becomes more viscous over your lifespan, it takes longer for that stuff to come back to equilibrium. And what that means is that you end up with, as you get older, your body having a harder and harder time placing its position within space. This is why we start to have troubles with our balance as we start to age. This is why when we get older, we stop liking roller coasters and rides like that as much as we may have when we were kids, because as we're older, it becomes much more difficult for us to kind of come back to a feeling of equilibrium after the fact once we have gone on a roller coaster, right? So your head gets all jumbled up, the liquid keeps sloshing back and forth, and then when you stand still to try and allow yourself to have that come back to an equilibrium, turns out that doesn't work. Let's go find Mario if we can. And so you end up being dizzy for longer, you end up being more, feeling more pain longer, and so it's less enjoyable. I've already given Mario 2 gifts this week. All right, cool. How you doing, Mario? Awesome. We've given Abigail 2 gifts, we've given Mario 2 gifts, we have Penny, Lewis, and Jazz. We've been given a lot of gifts. I mean, that's definitely more than I used to, so I feel pretty confident about that. All right, so let us then go down to the beach. Let's look for more forageables if we can, and then we'll check the forest to the left, I guess. Since we gave away our pickaxe, and it shouldn't be ready yet, I don't think, we are kind of at a little bit of a standstill here. We watered all of our plants, so that's good. Oh, hello. Do I have my hoe? I do. Hello, Wormy. What'd I get? Hey, a copper ore. I mean, I ain't gonna sneeze at it. That's not bad. I'll take it. Hey, y'all. How's it going? If you dig in the dirt, you can find some interesting things. Ew, it's boiled beet night again. I don't know you. That's all right. Let us move forward and just double check. Oh, it's locked. I closed it for. That's fine. I don't think it should have been ready. I think it takes 2 days. All right, let's check the beach for anything that may have washed up, and then we'll also check the other place. And then we'll probably chop down some more trees and cut some more grass on our farm. Oh, what's up, man? The fresh air of this valley is good for body and mind. You are such a Portland hipster, sir. That's cool. It's fine. No disrespect. I'm from Portland. I know it. I get it. So yeah, so that's your vestibular system. That's that sense. Okay. So essentially, we have a few extra senses that people don't often consider when talking about the senses. So it's not just the 5 senses. We do have more than those senses. But as far as any kind of ESP or any of those kinds of things, there's no scientific reason to believe that those things exist. And the last thing I will leave you with on that subject is that for every sense that we have, there are physical organs for them. All right, there are structures that we can look at and point to and say, this leads to this. So I can point to your neurons, I can point to your sensory receptors and say, this thing gives you this. This thing gives you that, right? You have these different abilities and whatnot that you get depending on the senses that are being activated, or the different organs that you have, right? Where is Jody? Where's your mom? There's Marnie. I don't have any animal products yet. I know she likes animal products. There's Jody. Hey. Cool. Oh, that looks so delicious. Thank you. This is just what I wanted. It's going to be perfect for my yellow curry. Awesome. That should give us a nice boost to our friendship with her as well. Got 350 gold. We're getting close to the amount that we'll need to get the new fishing rods. We might be able to do that tomorrow. So next episode. So that could be cool. All right. So that was our talk of senses. Oh, so the last thing I wanted to say about that was, so for those other senses, this idea of being able to predict the future or being able to read other people's minds or whatever, there's no reason to believe that those things exist because we don't have any evidence for those things existing. And when we go and test for them, we can never show that they actively exist. And so it's always best as a scientist, as someone who views science as the lens through which you discover the world and understand it. Oh, hold on. Anything here? Hello! We can buy cave carrots, smallmouth bass, cookies, fried eel, eggplants, tulips, sardines, duck feathers, pufferfish. All right, so far enough. Rare seeds. So in the fall, takes all season to grow. It might be smart for us to get this. You know what? No, we'll wait until next season. I would buy it now. It's a good investment, but then we put ourselves so far behind. Basically, we're saying we're not going to get the fishing rod if I get this rare seed. I'm going to hold off on it. Because I do think at the end of the day, it's not actually as necessary as you might think. So we're going to wait. Because you can get more of those. We'll see her again. Oink, oink. Oink, oink. Oh, you're so good. All right, so if you use science as your method of trying to understand the world, or if you use science in other domains, right, you think like, yeah, science is the way to learn this and that and this and that, then to not use that approach when approaching these ideas is a little disingenuous, right? You have to always be willing to accept that maybe your ideas, as much as you might want them to be true, as much as you might hope that they're true, if you can't just demonstrate that they're true, then you should assume that they're not, right? Because it's better to assume something isn't true and then find out that it is than to assume it is true and go through the world thinking it is and then find out that it's not, right? Because you might make a whole bunch of decisions you regret later on. So, long story long, because I keep on saying that, there's no reason to believe that those things exist. Now, as far as reading people's minds or thoughts or emotional states, that is something that people are actually pretty good at, or some people, not all people. Now, the thing about that is we have these things within our brain that are called mirror neurons. And these mirror neurons, different people have different amounts of them. And these are sort of a key component to empathy. And what these allow you to do, and this is everybody has this experience, right? This is how your brain processes this information. When I look at someone else and they raise their hand, okay? Mirror neurons in my brain fire and and when I say fire, I mean they activate. They also activate the area in my brain that is associated with raising my hand. So whenever I look at you raising your hand, in my brain, I feel myself raising my hand. Okay, does that make sense? So I can essentially feel what you're doing. Some people are more in tune to these than others, but everybody has them, and it's how we experience other people when they do things. All right, do we want to sell these? We might as well, right? I'll hold on to the gold ones maybe for now. No, we'll sell them. That's money. It's all money. This is all money to me right now. So we're going to sell all this. We'll sell you because we have some left over. We'll sell you because we have some left over. Hold on to you for energy. Hold on to you for energy. Cauliflower is for Maru. This is for Abigail. Yeah, we're good. All right, let's put some of this stuff away. We have a little bit of time, and it's only 9:30, so we'll go chop down some trees while we keep on talking about this stuff. So yeah, ultimately, that's where I fall on that. It's a philosophical question at the end of the day when it comes to do you think it exists, but as far as science is concerned, there is no evidence or reason to believe that those things do exist. But with the mirror neurons, yes, those things do exist. We know them, we can track them, we can look at them, and it is true that when I look at you raising your hand, the part of my brain that would light up when I raise my hand lights up at the same time when you raise your hand. So I essentially feel what you're doing. And that's how I can understand it better. That's how I can understand other people better. People with more active mirror neurons, or people who are more in tune with those mirror neurons, will experience it more vividly. And so that's where empathy comes in, right? Empathy is the ability to feel other people's experiences, their pain, their suffering, everything like that, but also their joy and their happiness, everything that they're going through. Okay? So some people have that a little bit more than others, but everybody has it to an extent. And it's an adaptive human feature, right? It's a social feature. We know monkeys have these. Many of the apes and primates and other social creatures have these mirror neurons. We actually do a lot of research on this stuff by looking at rhesus monkeys and other similar apes because they help us, or primates rather, they're not apes. Because they help us to understand us better because they're so much like us. And it helps, you can think of it from an adaptive feature, right? Because the better I can understand you and read you and know what you're trying to communicate with me from a nonverbal level, the better I'm going to be able to respond to or act upon the information that you're trying to convey to me. And that's really helpful in our survival. It allows us to better be able to adapt and survive in those types of situations. In dangerous situations, in evolutionary situations, it's more valuable there. Okay, I think we're good on all of this stuff. All right. So overall, empathy is adaptive. It's a good thing for us to feel what other people feel. All right, we're going to go to sleep for the night, and that's going to be the end of this episode. Oh, look, we leveled up. Awesome. All right, so here you see, our axe proficiency went up. Great. Wildberry harvesting went up. Great. New crafting recipe for the charcoal kiln. We're going to want to make that as soon as possible because that's going to allow us to make our own coal. We can turn wood into coal. That's going to be huge. We're going to make several of those. We probably should make more furnaces as well and really get like a nice furnace area set up and going. And how much money did we make off of all of our forageables? Not bad. Where are we at money? 708 is what we made today. Cool. So that might put us over enough to get the thing. We maybe have to sell a couple things today in this next episode, but that should be good. All right, y'all. I got tons more questions that y'all asked written down over here. Do be sure to add more questions below if you have them. Thank you all for watching. If you like what you saw, please be sure to give this video a like, a favorite, and subscribe to the channel. My name has been Price, and I will see y'all next time.